There is a mini series on Hulu called Dopesick, and I've been watching it because I'm interested in the subject matter of the opioid epidemic, and I think this whole the whole question of the opioid epidemic, the fact of it occurring, points to something about the difficulty of human life. Let's just say pain is a part of life, and it's easy enough to be stoic in one's attitude when you don't really know pain that well. But when you do know pain, and it's excruciating and it's not relenting, and this can be any kind of pain, not just physical pain. When you do know pain, it's hard to be that stoic about it. You want relief from it, and hats off to those who can suffer it and endure it and gain something by the ordeal. But it's really not. I find it rather inhumane to expect that of people in general. And having known a bit about pain myself, it's been easier to empathize. It's more, it makes me feel out of touch for the days when I was more, when my attitude was more, you just got to take the pain, you got to be stoic. That's much easier said than done, of course, and it also just shows a sort of brazen indifference and lack of regard for the fact that pain is pain, that pain hurts. Now the miniseries itself, it's a docudrama. It's really, really melodramatic at times. There are unnecessary. I mean, there are all the things you would expect from a mainstream production that's made today. There's egregious shoehorning of non-relevant issues like LGBT stuff gets just shoehorned in through a character who's a composite. There are a lot. What you have to watch out for with these docudramas is they convince you that, these are real people. Since this is a documentary about a real thing that happened, and then these must be real people. But that's not the case in most docudramas, and that's what makes docudramas really kind of, to me, inherently second rate, I'm afraid to say. There's this I don't know. There's something just necessarily exploitative about them, I find. And people watch this and think, well, this is true. This really happened. This character actually existed and was like this and said these things, and this happened to him or her. And it's just not the case. Now, except the one interesting exception to that rule is the portrayal of the Sackler family, who I'm not sure. I know that they are pretty universally hated right now, but I'm not sure how do you get away with. I mean, I don't know enough about slander or libel, in a lawful sense. Not that there'd be any other sense, right? But I'm not exactly sure how they get away with portraying this family, just so. Again, though, even though there is something compelling about the intensity of it all, there is just a melodrama. There's this like, oh, these are the villains, these are the bad guys. Look at how hateful they are. Look at how indifferent they are to human suffering, as long as they're profiting from it. And it's just sledgehammer bashing you over the face with it. So it's my summary of Dopesick is I find it disappointing in a way, but also strangely addictive. And addictive. I know. And I'm interested in what anybody else who has seen it, what you think about it. There's a character who is, here's another seemingly unnecessary shoehorning, unless this is based in reality. I don't know, but there's one character who seemingly just egregiously or unnecessarily is in a mixed marriage. It's fine to show characters who are in mixed marriages. I'm not saying there's anything wrong about that, but there's something in again, it's something like there's this pandering or this checking of boxes aspect of it. And there's one scene where this guy, the one crusading attorney trying to bring suit against the makers of OxyContin. There's this one scene where his wife looks at pictures of the Sackler family and says, "Oh, these nice white folk," in this sarcastic tone, and she's black. And I just wonder if she'd said, "Oh, these nice Jews," that somehow that somehow wouldn't have made it into the movie, right? Or if she was white and the Sacklers were black, or there were bad black characters, and the white character said, "Oh, these nice black folks," in a sarcastic tone. Just really egregious crap like that you have to shrug it off, but you have to make note of just how egregious it is at the same time. So I don't know, and the fact is that the Sacklers, their ethnicity is drawn attention to mildly, but only very, very mildly. So there you go. I mean, their ethnicity besides being white, if you know what I mean. All right. So anybody else who's seen this show, what do you think? Is it how does it succeed as a portrayal of the opioid epidemic? I mean, it one thing I would say in its favor is it does, show how it's devastated poor whites, hardworking, coal miner, Rust Belt, living, the Appalachian culture gets generally portrayed positively and non-panderingly. You don't necessarily always see that. It's more often the kind of deliverance portrayal of that demographic. So that's one thing in its favor. Anyway, anybody else who's seen it, let me know. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Check out my fiction and nonfiction work at altrightnovelist.com.